questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch alongs to the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Welcome back. Finally, I'm pleased to say, back to the Premier League review show. I'm by myself today. It's a solo show. I'm doing this on my ones. I am Nicky, your, I was about to say co-host, only host for today's show. It's been a while. It's been a while since the last episode of the review show. But yes, we are back, and I'm a little bit of changing my setup at the moment. So you will have to excuse this. It's not permanent. It's a bit of a mess. But yes, we are back with the review show. And there's a lot to talk about because this weekend has a lot coming off of it. We've had managers under review. We've had managers getting the sack. We've had a club that is facing over 100 financial charges. And we've had just the balmiest results as well. So what's there to talk about? Well, the transfer window is over. Chelsea have done a madness. They've spent more than most clubs ever spend in their entire tenure as Premier League clubs. And what have they got to show for it? Well, a 0-0 draw. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Let's not waste any time. Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. Now, I'm in the middle of also doing all the banners as well, so you will have to excuse me while I do this. It's the wrong way around, but there we go. Nate has done the business here for us. So, £106.8 million signing. Enzo Fernandez makes his debut, comes close to scoring, but not much else happened in the West London derby. Of course, Fulham now, I think this might be the first time in a very, very long time that they've taken more than 2 points off of Chelsea in their derbies against Chelsea in a season. But they've taken 4 points off of the Blues. And that's crazy. That's crazy. That goes to show the applause that Fulham and Marco Silva deserve. What a great season they're having. Kai Havertz, he hits the post during this game as well. Mykhailo Mudryk only gets one half of football. But now Chelsea floundering in 9th, mid-table mediocrity for the Blues, and that's crazy to think. Are they the new Arsenal? Quite possibly. Fulham, however, up to 6th. This is crazy. I love this Premier League season so far. This is absolutely crazy, but absolutely insane football played by Fulham. And of course, Chelsea's transfers have been, some have been good. Don't get me wrong. They brought in some players that they needed. But the overspending, I don't think, is necessary. They've already got such a talent in their midfield that maybe this is not the way to go. But it remains to be seen. There is a long way to go before now and the end of the season. But yes, a West London derby ends 0-0 on Friday Night Football. We're going to move on to one of the most shocking results of this season so far. Everton 1, Arsenal 0. Dodgeball is back. And it got 3 points straight off the bat. And Everton, wow. Wow, indeed. So, James Tarkowski, a player that knows Sean Dyche very, very well, of course, during their time at Burnley. scores the only goal of the game, and Arsenal never really looked like they got going. Everton had their number, and Onana in Everton's midfield certainly had Thomas Partey's number. Couldn't get around him. Absolutely just took him to school. And a poor performance from Arsenal, it has to be said. And at that point, you had to think that Manchester City were licking their lips at that. Dropped points from the Premier League leaders and a chance to catch them. But we'll get on to Man City later on. Everton, however, they are still in the relegation zone, despite their 3 points. But what a boost this is for Sean Dyche. What a boost this is for Everton at the moment. Sean Dyche has survived relegation plenty of times with Burnley. Is this the brand of football that Everton kind of need? I believe so, but they need to remember, this is a club with untapped potential. They need to get back to that. This was at one point one of the most attractive clubs to go and play for. This was a team that was regularly inside the top 10, was regularly causing problems for the Big Six as it was. And now look where they are. It remains to be seen of whether or not they can survive. There is plenty of time between now and May. Can it happen? Is this the great escape? Let's hope so. Let's hope so. We're going to move on to a game which has already been covered on this channel, of course, so you can go watch it. Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 1. I'm not going to hold on this for too long because it's already been done by my fellow members of Eagle Eye Football. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1. All I've got to say is Casemiro the Undertaker? Did he try and choke slam Will Hughes through the pitch? Well, I'm just saying. It's hey. But he gets a red card. He doesn't like Crystal Palace. What have we done, Casemiro? Let me know because I'm worried. Like, I like you. You're a good player. We've done nothing to you. Why don't you like us? What's not to like? Besides the fact that, we kind of annoy Man United a lot with our results. But no. Jeffrey Schlupp also featured in this, and there are days where he doesn't help himself, but there are days where he does. And this was a day in which he shone and he scored and he was everyone's player of the match. At least he was mine and Rich's. So well done to him. That should stave off the detractors for a little while. But Marcus Rashford scores again. Honestly, at the moment, the way things are going, he is definitely in the running for Player of the Year. I certainly think he deserves it. Bruno Fernandes gets a very, very early penalty off a Will Hughes handball. Look, it happens. It happens. This is a game in which I don't mind losing. I don't think we were ever going to win this game, just because of the way that Manchester United had set themselves up in this game. It is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe we could have shown it a bit more attacking threat when Man United went down to 10 men. But, hey. We move. We've got a bigger game coming up this weekend. Stay tuned to the channel for the preview because, oh boy, it proves to be spicy. Now, enough about Man United and Palace. We're going to go into the Midlands as we have this absolute goal fest of a game. Leicester City. Wow. Aston Villa 2, Leicester City 4. Crikey, there was a lot of goals in the first half. Now, I'm reading this off my notes on my phone, by the way, so if I am looking down, you do have to excuse me here. I've not done my handwritten notes. I apologise. Next week, normal service resumes. Don't worry. So, a lot of goals in the first half. Ollie Watkins scores in the 9th minute, and then James Maddison scores in the 12th minute, and then Sutar scores an own goal, unfortunately, and it is 2-1 to Villa. And then Leicester go goal crazy with Iheanacho scoring in the 41st, and then Martin scoring in 45 plus 2, and then Dennis Praet scoring in the 79th minute. And it is a first Premier League win for Leicester since November. That's crazy. I thought they had won games. That's insane. Oh, dear me. Well, this was a thrilling contest. Really, really end-to-end. Really enjoyable game. Villa, this was insane, though. Because I did notice this stat. They had 19 shots and 63% possession of the ball overall for the whole 90. And it ended up in this scoreline. I mean, well done to Leicester. We're very, very well done to them. But where they stand now is Leicester, who are 3 points clear of the relegation zone. They stand in 13th place on 21 points. And 2 places above them is Aston Villa on 28, which is insane when we go through the Premier League table. Oh boy. But Leicester, they pounced on so many errors created by Villa. Yeah, words not working. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, I have to highlight. Now, I want this guy at Palace. This guy is great in the midfield. I really like him. He pounced on so many errors and was absolutely fantastic. But man of the match for this one definitely is Kelechi Iheanacho. From a guy who loves scoring against Palace in his City days to now, being at the forefront of Leicester's attack. Great football shown by him. Great goal as well. And yeah, Leicester. Well done. I don't want to speak about this. I don't. You've had one job, Bournemouth. One job. Why am I relying on you? Why do I constantly have to rely on you? This is supposed to be an unbiased review show, but when I'm wearing my colours, I can't help it. You have one job to stop them winning before they face us, and you can't even do that. Gary O'Neill, have a word, mate. Have a word. I was very nearly about to go, with water. It's still early in the day. So, them 1, Bournemouth 0. Mitoma scores again. It's 2-2 in all competitions for him. He meets a late cross, and it is 1-0 and a late goal, moving them well up the table. This is crazy. The fact that in all competitions in January they scored 16 goals. I don't want to give them praise. I don't. I shouldn't have to give them praise. That's not my job. Oh dear. But they did miss a lot of chances in this game. Bournemouth, they did well to last that long, all the way up until the end of the game. No team really got going, but this was a game in which was mostly the focus on Moses Caicedo, as he had to settle for a place on the bench in this game, but was welcomed back. Obviously, the manager, De Zerbi, didn't want to have him leave. So they were blocking the move. They were putting up his price at a ridiculous rate that, according to some sources, Arsenal were willing to pay. But no, for the moment, for the remainder of the season, he stays a Brighton and Hove Albion player. Whether he remains in the blue and white in the summer remains to be seen. But Mitoma, I'll give you praise. You've had a blinding 2 games, so well done to him. Definitely the man of the match there. Enough said about that. Let's move on to Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds United 0. Not much to say about this one. I joke, of course, because this game led to a sacking. Jesse Marsh is no more. The Marsh era of Leeds is done already. Now, I will focus on Nottingham Forest. I'll get to them in a minute, but let's focus on the actual Leeds situation here. They've sacked Jesse Marsh after a month, I believe. No, longer. This is way longer. This is now 7 games. This game, after this is now 7 without a win, and Jesse Marsh has been dismissed. Now, he spoke of momentum building with the Lily Whites. But then obviously the case is not everyone saw it. And as I've got my notes up here on my page, of course, he's had 36 games. He's won 11, drew 10, I believe, and lost 16. Yes, that's 37 games. Now, they find themselves on a stat is that their build-up attacks, they are the lowest. They're only on 16 building up attacks in their season so far. But they are the most direct team in terms of their progression towards the opposition goal. But then on the flip side, it also means they lose it a bit more. Now, I do wish I actually had Dan with me here because he knows stats better than anyone. I'm just copying and pasting off of various sources here. The funny thing is that Leeds had one of the best transfer windows, I believe. They also had a great transfer window in the summer. But this is I don't think this was good. I don't think this was the correct decision. Now they leave themselves without a manager in a time where it's not really the best of times to change. They find themselves 17th, only above Everton on goal difference as it is today. You can see why the Leeds leadership made that move, but was it the right decision? I don't believe so. At least my opinion is I think Jesse Marsh should have been given the benefit of the doubt. 20 games, 4 wins, 6 draws, 10 losses. To be honest, it's not great, obviously, but it's not bad for Leeds. That's not me having a dig at Leeds, okay? I want that to be clear because I know what the others are going to do. They're going to clip this and just be like, he's having another shot at Leeds. Here we go. I'm not. Leeds have had a blinding transfer window. Bringing Weston McKennie in on what I think is a loan to buy deal could be good football. Could. I'm not McKennie's biggest fan, but remains to be seen. You never know. You never know. But yeah. Who replaces Liquid? If they bring Bielsa back, that's going to be so funny. So they go 7 without a win. But let's focus on the home team at the City Ground. Brennan Johnson's volley, cracking volley as well, stunning strike. In the 14th minute, gives them a survival boost. And, well, I can't believe I'm actually going to be saying this. Keylor Navas is a Nottingham Forest player. That's balmy. That's insane. Oh my god. Nottingham, you are. They won the transfer window, by the way. They won it. I don't care what anyone says. They won this. Keylor Navas, man of the match for me in this one. Brennan Johnson also could be given that, but Navas, good debut. Clean sheet as well. Now, obviously, a lot of pundits saying that Marsh looked defeated at the end of the game. Maybe so. But it is what it is. This is the beautiful game, but it's a harsh game. Nottingham Forest boosted their chances of survival while Leeds need to find a new manager. We're going to go into the capital now. Brentford 3, Southampton 0, and Nathan Jones's position under review apparently. And the supporters have turned. So, chants calling for Nathan Jones to leave the club. And Brentford unbeaten in their last 9. Got a lot of time for Brentford. Got a lot of time for them. 2 minutes. Then, no, rather 3 minutes. And they had 2 goals before half time, with Ben Mee and Mbeumo scoring in the 41st and 44th minute, with Janssen scoring in the 80th. Now, does this take? Is this the next dismissal? I believe so. Nathan Jones, I think, will be under the spotlight in the next game. Next game is that's the deciding game. I don't actually know who they have, so let's have a look, shall we? So let's have a look, see with my trusty phone. If it actually that'd be great. So they have Wolves at home. So they are back at home against Wolves. That is a must-win game for Nathan Jones. Otherwise, he must leave the club. I believe he must now put his job on the line and go before he is put. If they lose, he must go before he is pushed. He must realize that. He must realize this, because this was a mistake in the first place. I don't think he was the right man to be given the Southampton job when Hasenhüttl was sacked. Southampton should have gone for someone else. You don't go for a championship manager who had just joined Luton to then go to the Premier League. That's either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid, perhaps both. Maybe it shows a bit of naivete on Southampton's part, because never in the month of Sunday would you see that move. Never. That's balmy. Not anyone with Premier League experience, and you go with that. That's ridiculous, I think. So Brentford now go 9 games undefeated, and the way that they play, you can't be too surprised with this. Brian Mbeumo, cracking player, absolutely incredible. Definitely should feature in Players of the Week this week from this weekend. Absolutely incredible performance from him. More on Southampton, though, is that their fans are starting to troll them because the ever sarcastic chant, "We've had a shot" chant ringing around. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Newcastle won West Ham won. Now, I'm annoyed by this because I thought Newcastle were going to win. I had high hopes Newcastle were going to win this. But alas, no. West Ham fought to a draw. Newcastle, who are celebrating they're going through to their first cup final in a very, very, very long time. Kept to a draw in this one. So they've been brought back down to earth, so to speak. But Joe Willock, inside the first minute, puts the ball in the back of the net, but VAR says no. But then 2 minutes later, Callum Wilson goes, yes, and puts it in the back of the net. And we have the first goal of the game. But then it is Lucas Paqueta who levels it just about half an hour later and goes, no. So Anthony Gordon makes his debut in this game as well in the second half. £45 million. Remains to be seen if whether or not he can live up to that price tag. It's not the biggest price tag, obviously, in this day and age of football, but it is a hefty fee for a player so young. So hopefully he does well. I want to see him do well, but obviously the manner in which he did leave Everton might leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouths of Toffee fans. Not much else to say about this one. Newcastle could have gone further up into the top four, but alas, no. West Ham, though, they will certainly take the point, but they need to find 3 points somewhere because when their European football starts again, they're going to find themselves in need of a lot of squad depth. And moving on, back into the capital city we go. And breaking news, Harry Kane has done it. He beat Jimmy Greaves' record. Tottenham won, Manchester City 0 in a game which could have seen Manchester City close the gap on Arsenal, but no, Harry Kane. Oh, Arsenal fans must be going, yay, City lost. And then they must have realised, hang on, we were supporting Spurs all this time. But a win is a win for Tottenham. So Manchester City. Over 100 financial charges coming their way, courtesy of the Premier League, and oh my God, it's going crazy over there up in Manchester because they have accepted it. They said, look, we're open. Read our books. Here they are. Not to mention, if they're found guilty, not only do they face there'll be certain ramifications. Obviously, there are certain outcomes to all their charges. It's just a case of what the judgment will be. Obviously, worst case scenario, they could be expelled from the Premier League. That's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. Chill. Most likely. Hefty fine. Maybe a points reduction. A points reduction comes their way. Oh, God. Somebody. Oh, I'm going to have to mute Tariq. That's all I'm going to hear. That's all I'm going to hear. But let's focus on Harry Kane. What a striker. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. He is now Tottenham's leading goal scorer. And that's amazing. That is genuinely amazing. And you know what? Well done to him. Well done to the England captain. He certainly deserves it. He's an incredible striker. Obviously, he was always going to beat this record this season. This was always going to happen. It's Harry Kane. He scores goals. I mean, it's his job, but you understand what I mean. It's Harry Kane. Of course, he's going to score. This man has an eye for the goal like no other. But yeah, well done, Harry. Well done. You certainly deserve that. We're going to move into the last game that we've got here featured. And I laughed so hard when I saw this scoreline. Just let this settle in for you, viewer. Oh my god. Tell you what, I'm going to follow this up with what Nate's put, and kudos. Thank you, Nathan, for this one. Are Klopp's cop beginning to crumble? Well, do you know what, Nathan? Everyone go give Nathan a round of applause in the comments, please. That's brilliant. Klopp's cop beginning to crumble. Are they? Oh, beginning? Beginning? Are you sure? They have crumbled. They're gone. It's over. It's over. Genuinely. What has happened? What has genuinely happened to Liverpool? Go get Sadio Mane back. Because obviously he was the glue keeping this team together. It certainly wasn't Mohamed Salah. Maybe this is a case of write off the season now. Focus on the next one. Obviously, the link is Jude Bellingham to Liverpool. So maybe this could do it. This could revitalise a floundering Liverpool that is, at best, mid-table mediocrity this season. Hell, you never know. Palace could finish above Liverpool at this rate. But wow. Wolverhampton 3, Liverpool 0, and when I saw this scoreline, this was crazy. So the first goal is a shocking goal. Absolutely shocking. I don't know how this didn't. Joel Matip, what are you doing? What are you doing? You absolute lemon. Craig Dawson. I forgot he played football. He scores. I said, don't like him. I've never rated him. But then Ruben Neves in the 71st minute makes it 3-0. Wow. Wolverhampton out of the relegation zone. Hooray for them. Good on them. Klopp, though, has got a lot of work to do for the upcoming season. So, Baller of the Week. Baller of the Week. We come to Baller of the Week. That was not... Ignore that. That was... Yeah. Baller of the Week. Sean Dyche. Am I wrong? Maybe. I'm not. I'm never wrong. Baller of the Week is definitely going to be this week. Sean Dyche for his debut, managerial debut for Everton. You can tell I've just woken up, can't you? He gets the first win of his Everton era, and certainly things are looking up for the Dutchman. So, congratulations, Sean, you win Baller of the Week. A totally, not at all prestigious title here on Eagle Eye Football. Brick of the Week. Oh, there are so many contenders. We have got Joel Matip for his own goal. We have got Casemiro for the red card. We've got Jesse Marsh. We've got Nathan Jones. So many contenders. But I'm going to give it to Casemiro. I'm going to give it to The Undertaker for his attempted chokeslam on Will Hughes. That was balmy. But sometimes players see red. I know. As soon as I said it, that was cringy. But sometimes players see red and they just like, they go a little bit crazy. And then they see a red card. It happens. But Brick of the Week this week is going to go to Casemiro. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a quick episode because I'm by myself. hopefully next week I'll have a co-host. I'll have someone to riff off of instead of me just talking to you and looking at my phone all the time. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to bring back the Premier League review show. You can find me on my Twitter, which is right there, at SellHerSaint. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Eagle Eye Football channel. Make sure you follow us on all our social medias as well as TikTok, and coming up soon, we're going to be doing YouTube shorts, so look forward to them. And of course, this week, it is the big one. We have Brighton and Hove Albion, so make sure you stay tuned for that video. So, I'm going to leave you with this. Leeds United and Southampton.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
I have been the Saint of Selhurst. You have been amazing. Thank you ever so much. And I am out of here.